children from the neighborhood. Children avail this type of transport every day. In the evening again, the bus drops the children at their homes. The bus is the school's lifeline and the preferred transport of all children. In the same way, plants also have specific tissues which act as lifelines. These tissues transport nutrients to different parts of the plant.
Hi, I'm Cabby, and this is my solar-powered taxi. I'm out to create a record for the longest drive made on solar power. Why don't you join me? I didn't tell you how I got this novel idea. I was inspired by plants.
Plants use energy from sunlight to fix atmospheric carbon dioxide into carbohydrates. Water and chlorophyll is required as raw material and oxygen is released as the byproduct. Plants also need raw materials that come from the soil. Soil has the richest source of raw materials like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and other minerals. The absorption of these substances occurs through the roots.
Let me give you some tips about cars. The energy needs of cars differ with its design.
In fact, this holds true for plants as well. Plants have low energy needs as they do not move. Therefore, plant bodies have a large proportion of dead cells. As a result, plants can survive with slow transport systems. If the distance between the roots and the leaves are small, nutrients can easily diffuse in the plant body from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. However, if these distances become large because of the plant body design, diffusion alone cannot provide raw materials and energy reserves to the plant. A proper system of transportation is therefore essential in such types of plants.
There's a fix to every problem.
Tall plants have transport systems called vascular tissues, which move raw materials from the roots and food from leaves. This happens through two sets of conducting tubes that work independently. The xylem moves water and minerals from the soil to the plant. The phloem transports food from the leaves to different parts of the plant. Xylem tissue is present in the roots, stems, and leaves. It has 4 different types of cells: tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, and xylem parenchyma. Of these, only tracheids and vessels are interconnected to form a continuous system of water-conducting channels that reach all parts of the plant.
As you can see, I take good care of my cab. Everyone needs nourishment.
Plants get their nourishment from soil. In the roots, the cells in contact with the soil take up ions. This creates a high concentration of ions in the roots than in the soil. Therefore, water moves into the roots from the soil to eliminate this ionic difference. This process is known as osmosis. This ensures a steady movement of water into the roots, creating a water column that is pushed upwards. However, this pressure is not enough to move this water to the higher parts of a tall tree. Plants use the process of transpiration to move water in the xylem up to the highest parts of the plant body. Let's see how. Evaporation of water in plants takes place from the spongy mesophyll cells to the intercellular spaces present in the leaves and finally through the stomata to the atmosphere. This creates a suction which pulls water from the xylem cells of roots to higher parts. This loss of water in the form of vapor from the leaves and stem is known as transpiration.
It seems we've come a long way from home. Let me tell you something about my cat. She needs to be cooled every now and then to perform her best.
Transpiration helps to cool the plants and to get rid of excess water. During the day, when the stomata are open, the transpiration pool becomes the driving force in the movement of water in the xylem. Transportation of water in small herbaceous plants is influenced by root pressure. It usually occurs during the night when soil moisture is very high. Water is lost in the form of water droplets, which we often see as dew on leaves. Let's see what root pressure is. The osmotic pressure within the cells of a root system causes the water to move from higher concentration soil to lower concentration root cell. This pressure allows water to move from the roots into the leaves. The excess water exudates out as drops of xylem sap from the edges of leaves. This process is known as guttation. Wondering what happens to the carbon dioxide, water, and minerals once they reach the leaves? They are used during photosynthesis to prepare glucose. This glucose is transported from the leaves to the storage organs of roots, fruits, and seeds, and to the rapidly growing regions of the plant. Thus, the food not only moves downward, but also in upward direction. Transportation of soluble substances like sugars, amino acids, and hormones by phloem tissue is called translocation. Sugar is translocated in the form of sucrose. Phloem is made of 4 types of cells: sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers, and phloem parenchyma. Translocation takes place in the sieve tubes with the help of adjacent companion cells. Simple physical forces bring about transportation in xylem, while translocation in phloem happens by using energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate, ATP. Here's a detailed look at the process of translocation of glucose from the leaves to the roots. Water molecules move up the plant body by transpiration. Some water molecules move into leaf cells by osmosis. Glucose molecules in the leaves are transferred to phloem tissue using energy from ATP. This process is called active transport. This high concentration of sugar in the phloem causes water to move from adjacent cells to the phloem by osmosis. It creates an osmotic pressure in the leaves, which eventually results in translocation of solutes from its region of higher concentration to the region of low concentration, like root or other storage organs. Finally, sugar molecules move to the root system.
Looks like I've come to the end of the road.